I'm late. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Should be.
Yeah. We've got I'm trying to remember what the fucking questions are. Shit, I cursed. Fuck, I did it 3 times. Oh shit. Okay, we've got Brian spin of the barbell spin. If you want surface level news.
Just go to the barbell spin, you'll get it.
Yeah. If you want quick, no, genuinely, if you want quick, factual, well-sourced, well-written and well-presented information, you should go to thebarbellspin.com. Especially over the next 7 months or so. Things are going to start hotting up, I reckon, in the next little while. We've also got Dallin Pepper. If you want to watch one of the most entertaining pieces of content ever created in the CrossFit space, you should go to the Semifinal podcast YouTube channel and watch Dallin and Jason Hopper be mic'd up and team up with Ricky Gerard, and just it's fucking unbelievable. It's so good.
It's a good time.
Really good. And we've also got Matt O'Keefe, who could not be wearing any more HWPO gear if he tried. Wow.
I got the where is it? CPW. I'm sucking up, so
it's a point. I was actually going to say the only thing you could do is get it tattooed on your penis, and you didn't go quite that far, but you got it on your arm. Okay, so I just have like a small little bit of catching up to do here. So we're going to change all the topics. First topic is going to be, should Hitler be drug tested? Second topic is, should Ellie have to go to Australia? No, I'm only joking. That'd be quite short notice, be quite harsh.
I need to go.
So first of all, yeah, I just got a call. If you want to improve your gym's offerings of programming, you should go to btwb.com/all-in-one, and they will white glove your affiliate members over. This is funny trying to type and talk at the same time because I'm typing what I'm talking by accident. I don't mean to. Just pause for 1 second. Right. They will white glove all of your people over, all your like payment information, all that kind of stuff. Or if you just want a good workout tracker, you can go to btwb.com. Thank you for supporting the show. Comments first. Anything interesting there? Thank you, Brian. You could have just said, he literally just texted me he's going to be 2 minutes late. Couldn't just do that. No problem. Can't wait to see Dallin Pepper shit on everyone.
Interesting. Okay. I'm bringing my Hopper, edge for Dallin today. Yeah.
I got people saying whatever I do, I can't let O'Keefe win today. So.
There you go. And O'Keefe actually went to Japan to research this, which I don't think anybody else did. Right. So our first topic, just for anyone that doesn't know how this works. If you're new around these parts, we have a timer. There it is. You've got 60 seconds. So this is you're probably going to find this a bit intense, Matt. It's different. You got 60 seconds. If you go over your 60 seconds, you're going to be muted.
What if you're under? You get extra points?
You can kind of just sit there and there's a bit of an awkward silence for the remainder of your time. And then I fumble with the clock for a couple of seconds and then I stop it and restart for the next person. Ideally, if you can keep it to exactly 60 seconds, it's great. You'll then have, so we go down through topic number 1, will go closest to me to furthest away. So Dan will be first on topic 1. Brian will be first on topic 2. Matt first on topic 3. So everyone gets a chance going first. Everyone gets a chance going second. Everyone gets a chance going last. After you've had your 60 seconds, there's a 20-second rebuttal time. So if Dallin finishes his points on topic number 1 and then O'Keefe says something and Dallin thinks that's bullshit, he's got 20 seconds at the end to criticize. Or if O'Keefe says something and Dallin thinks, shit, that's a good point. I could build on that if I said that thing that's in my head. He's got his 20 seconds at the end to build upon a point or to tear it down, whichever he wants. So I'm just typing in my last topic. Okay, done. Sorry. This is what happens. I had to collect my kids. And I was like, man, this is going to be fucking close. And it was Too close. So topic number 1. Dallin, you're going first. No pressure. So an email went out yesterday saying that due to the nature of the space that the CrossFit Games is going to be held, that there will be further restrictions placed on who does and does not get. I'm kind of below the thing there. Who does and does not get media credentials handed out to them. So my question is, should CrossFit be making outside media more of a priority? So Dallin, you've got 60 seconds on this topic. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Absolutely, they should be making it a priority, and I think the venue is a pretty lame excuse as to why they wouldn't allow that. We need all the CrossFit media personalities there because you guys each carry your own fan base that's going to bring in specific people that like the way you put out content. You guys all generated hundreds of thousands of views on any of the CrossFit Games episodes. I just checked them all. So many people got eyes on the CrossFit Games because of those. We also need fitness or not fitness influencers, whether it's YouTube, and I hate to say it, but TikTok. I hate watching Patrick Mahomes' little brother do TikTok dances at the Chiefs game more than anyone else, but I know we've all seen them. They've got millions of views. So why wouldn't we want people like that? And I also thought it was really cool having Jocko walk through the back in the Coliseum while we were warming up. That's a huge personality in whatever space you want to call it. And I think that's really cool that he brought eyes onto the CrossFit Games.
That's how you do it, O'Keefe. Bang on.
Right on. Let's see if you can do any better.
All right, Spain, you're up. You've got 60 seconds and your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, so CrossFit started this mess in 2019 when they allowed anybody that had a camera and had taken a picture in a CrossFit gym access to media. And so this was somewhat expected when you think about going to a smaller venue, going into just a inside arena. Like the Coliseum was limited already. So what this is really applying to is the photographer side. And so CrossFit needs to further segregate and say, are you a photographer or are you quote unquote media doing more than just taking pictures from the side? And so they're limiting the number of people who can just go in there and take pictures. I think CrossFit needs to set up a photographer pool where those photos are available for the athletes, for the training camps. The problem is you have a photographer for every single athlete, for every single training camp, and it gets to be too much. And then you have those like the barbell spin, like Morning Chalk Up, like Talking Elite Fitness that want to do the interview side of things. They're allowed to get in the backside, do the behind the scenes, et cetera, like Savant.
Right. You almost made me laugh by saying they're allowed to get in the backside. All right, O'Keefe, you've got 60 seconds. You're up next. Your time starts now. Off you go.
The answer is 100% yes. I point to data from outside platforms. So let's take the NFL, for instance. They have approved in the last 2 years over 200 outside content creators to come in and create unique content on field, in locker rooms, on the sidelines. We need more eyeballs, unique eyeballs. Endemic, yes. Non-endemic, even more so, yes. We just have to find ways to get more people involved and more eyeballs on this sport. We cannot be restricting media, outside media. I do understand the challenges with space and, areas to be able to allow access, but I think we need to really spend a lot of time, CrossFit does, thinking about ways that we can, not the ways that we can't. Honestly, we need these eyeballs. Dallin made a great point. There was a lot of great views created by having outside media, so this is a hell yes for me.
Good stuff. Spin, I don't know, are you muting yourself or am I muting you? Oh, you muted yourself.
I was like,
yeah, I was like, I can't unmute.
I'm just trying to give Matt some respect. In case I start speaking up.
At least somebody is on this call.
Respect is earned, Matt. Right. This time, Dallin, your clock's going to go down to 40. This time,
40?
So you got 20. Yeah, you got 20-second rebuttal time. So we're still starting at 60. We'll go down to 40. So your 20 seconds starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I think O'Keefe just took everything I said and used bigger words, which that's fine. It's just proving my point a little farther. I guess I'll just end this with saying all CrossFit needs is to get Taylor Swift to show up in a box, and we should get plenty of eyes.
Oh,
Fair,
he went there.
All right, Spin, you've got 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I think we definitely have plenty of media opportunities. I think it's working with, I think CrossFit needs to work with the different groups to find different ways and different avenues. So you have behind the scenes of Savan, you have Buttery Bros, you have all different ways. Let's figure out a way to diversify and not just do the same thing over and over again.
That's cool. O'Keefe, you got the last 20 seconds here. Off you go.
100% in support of what you just said is we just build parameters, expectations, what we need to deliver on. The more the better in this. I mean, we got to stop recreating the wheel and start taking inspiration from what others have done in bigger platforms.
Good stuff. All right. I just need to divvy out some scores here. It's interesting though. There is kind of a, I don't know what you call it. Rightly or wrongly, people expect. So people see, like you see Spin's example there, Savan's behind the scenes. There will be other people who disregard the fact that that's Savan and disregard like all he has done and his history in the sport or around the sport or whatever, and they'll say, well, that's not fair, how come he can get that and I can't get that? And there'll be that kind of attitude of like, well, how come like HWPO are allowed to have a photographer there and Mayhem are allowed to have two? And how come if HWPO can have a photographer there, how come Emma McQuaid can't have a photographer there? Or you know what I mean? Like it becomes I think that's the major issue. Like one of the point that kind of won him the round, to be honest. I'll just show you the scores. Spin's point of like just create a pool. Like there's a pool of images for people to pull from, and then you just go and get it. And then all of the like the onus is on CrossFit to make sure that all of the athletes are being photographed by someone. And that, hey, you got lanes 1 through 6 and you got lanes 6 through 12 or whatever. And then you take pictures in every heat. That's your job. They go up. Athletes can get that. They get to fulfill their obligations to the sponsors. Then you don't have brands that are like, oh, we need to send a photographer to cover whatever. I guess photographers might argue that's taking money out of their mouths, but I don't know. Yeah, Will agrees with Matt. NFL is inviting YouTubers right now to push its digital footprint. CrossFit is restricting. That's the issue. Control is a tricky one because, oh, look at this. Got to get a CPW tattoo on your pecker if you lose. The problem there is, Ernie, none of them have big enough peckers to fit CPW. It would just be CP. That's why you come on the show, guys. All right. Well done on that. That was actually pretty concise. Well done on that. So, Spin, you're first on this next topic. So, CrossFit are giving back the semifinals. They're like, we don't want this shit. You can do it. They're getting rid of the semifinals. They're giving them back to the outside companies. They're still doing the programming. My question to you is, should semifinals run community events alongside the elite level competition? Will it distract? Will it detract? Will it boost? What are your thoughts? So Spin, you're first up on this. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
100%. So you already have Torian Pro, Coupe Sur, and now the French Throwdown all do some level of community events. The main event should be primary. It shouldn't be taken away from those, but you should have community events. One, to draw more people there. You get more athletes. You have more excitement. With that comes more vendors, more sponsorship opportunities. And my thought is, it doesn't have to be a 2,000-3,000 type event like Wodapalooza or Madrid, but you can invite maybe the next 20 athletes from quarterfinals to do an RX version, 10 teams, and then do an open division like Wodapalooza just did, where it's first come, first serve. That'll get more interest. You have people from the East now that, they've participated in the open and the quarterfinals. They're not just out if they're number 41. They can go. You can have their friends and family go. And so you can do it by all of the regions. It's more profitable. You get more registration fees, et cetera. So it's a good thing all around.
O'Keefe, you're up next. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, they should run community events. I think it should look different than it does traditionally. Good on Torian for their success and how they operate. I think at this stage, the focus is the elites, guys like Down. I don't think we should take away from that, and we should look at the inspiration created around the 5K at the CrossFit Games. Individual opportunities to participate, express your fitness at events like this. Hell yeah. A full competition, I think it might be a bit much on at a stage like this or the CrossFit Games. Hero workouts, 5Ks, individual events that you can register for one time, do something one over the weekend. I think that's a great way to go with this. So I don't think it should run like a traditional Wadapalooza or how other events would run mass participation. I love that approach.
Good stuff. All right, Dallin, elite athlete, you're up last. Off you go.
All right, I'm gonna have to argue that it's not considered a community event anymore when you take the next 20 out of quarterfinals. So I'm gonna argue against spin there. But I do like what Matt said about just having one event, one workout, one 5K, that type of thing. I think when you get way too many athletes in the warm-up area, and especially my mind's thinking about Knoxville in the East, there's not enough room for the warm-up area with athletes and a full-on community event. But to combat that and like continue to increase ticket sales, I think there should be seminars. You should get the training camps involved, let them put on a miniature training camp, whether it's an hour or two. And I also think there's different ways that we can get tickets to increase curiosity in the event. I know during the last event at Rogue, we got our warm-up area moved and there were people everywhere, up and down on the floor above us, right next to us in the warm-up area. And I think there could be something cool about involving the community and giving them a little more access that's restricted, but it's still there.
Interesting. All right, Spin, you got 20 seconds rebuttal time. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I mean, you can say the community event needs to have more people, but again, we're trying to still focus on the elite athletes like Dallin, et cetera. So I think doing a seminar by HWPO or Mayhem or whatever is not going to draw somebody to go fly their family out and buy a ticket. So you need more reason to go, and that's the communities.
Good stuff. Delighted I got to meet someone. That's great. Thanks, Spin. It's only for 1 second, but still, it all counts. It counts. O'Keefe, you've got 20 seconds. You're up. Off you go.
I disagree on that. I think that having Matt, Rich, people like that at events like this would get people to get on an airplane to be able to spend time and get instructed by them. But I still stand by that. Like, let's, get to the core of CrossFit, run hero workouts, 5Ks. That was the biggest success at an event we've seen from CrossFit, the 5K.
All right, Dallin, you're last up. You got 20 seconds. Off you go.
Yeah, I see what you mean by bringing the family in, but I'm going to stick by it that the community events need to be like the one-off things and bring people in that are already going to be there and just increase excitement through the weekend, whether they're like doing a scaled version of a semifinal event or a 5K. They can see what we're doing compared to them and just keep it big.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I guess one of the main things that we need to figure out is how much money are they getting from CrossFit? Like, what support are they getting from CrossFit? Because Spin's thing comes in there of like, yeah, it's like, let's run these semifinals. No, you can't have, like, there's no space or there's no whatever. You can't have an event. But like, one, you're asking French Throwdown to completely abandon what they've built their whole 12 years or 11 years or whatever they've done is the community event with the elite kind of there on site. And I think if you take that away or you restrict that somehow, I guess the issue there is that you are, one, pissing off people because that's what they've done, and two, you're cutting their purse strings. So you're saying like, all right, your main source of income, fuck you, like best luck getting some sponsors because you're not having, like you don't have that source of income anymore. So unless you're charging people $100 to do a 5K or to do like Murph or whatever, I think you'll kind of run into some trouble maybe, but like, what the fuck do I know? Anyway, I'm in charge of scores. That's all that really matters. Spin took that one. I think I just agree that I think what you guys are saying about the seminars and stuff, great. The programming, like as in the training camps doing stuff, great. Like all that stuff does matter and makes a difference. But I think if a competition, I get the Knoxville thing, but then that's their problem. Like they need to move to a different venue then if that's the problem. Whereas Torian have this huge venue, French Throwdown have moved to a different venue specifically because it's now like pristine and, you know, new and shiny and all that shit, but it has space for everyone as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. The last one then. You guys are allowed to talk in between as well, you know. You don't
I was going to say, by all means,
I want to totally hear all those points. I think that when you talk about monetize, just from my experience, you know, which is really important because this is a very tough phase for an event organizer. You know, it's there. Like, I mean, when you run individual events, you know, you can have a charitable component to it and still realize some revenue from it. I don't think there's absent a revenue opportunity for like Hero Workouts one-off. People come to festivals like Wodapalooza and you'll see a lot of activity outside of the actual people that are competing, the 2,500 athletes. Like people want to work out. Most people who attend the games, all that, they want to work out once or twice. They want to go get coached by Matt, Rich, you know, all those people, Matt Torres, like the camps. They want to do things like that. There's ways to make money off of that for an event organizer, and they should really consider it. Honestly, I would hate to detract from the floor because that's really what it's about. And a lot of people do come specifically to watch people compete for a spot at the CrossFit Games.
I suppose the issue is if you have a big competition doing semi-final and not doing anything else, you'll end up with a scenario where it's like a one and done thing where like they just like burn the checkbook and they're like, well, that was great while it lasted. Who's next? And you just burn through event organizers. Like Strength and Depth had a great community event when they were like a semi-final and a sanctional. Filthy 150 did a great community event when they were a sanctional. Like that's how loads of sanctionals made their money, is they had online qualifiers, money coming in from that. They had the event on the day, money coming in from that. And then they were able to say to sponsors, well, there's going to be 900 people competing minimum plus the spectator tickets. And that's more, you know, like I think that's the, like, yeah, people will pay to go and see Rich, but like if you have, I don't really know how it works. Like, you can probably correct me on this, but like, if I'm running an event and I say, all right, I want HWPO to come and do an activation, I probably have to pay HWPO to be there. So then it's costing me money as well as making money, or the camps, maybe.
I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, that's a great opportunity for a business like ours to activate around what we do. I'd show up for that. We don't get paid. People think we get paid for everything that we do. We don't. We don't ask for money for that stuff. We go and support those events because we want them to thrive. It's an opportunity for us to get in front of people that might be a potential customer for us.
I take your point as well, Dan, about the warm-up area. It is like Madrid was fucking hectic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if they have the space, like I've heard Torian had the most incredible atmosphere where they had like that separate floor, the separate warm-up area. Just as an athlete, like Wodapalooza is awesome, and it's Wodapalooza, and it's the perfect off-season event. We get to interact. It's fun. It's a party. But with semifinals being such high stakes and a stressful weekend already, we need to keep it pretty professional back there.
You can create an elite warm-up area too, right? Like there's ways to go about
I would think Dylan and Wilson both have experience with that and would be able to structure it so that you guys would have what you need, and then let the community do the other side. And again, it's not a 2,000 or 3,000 like craziness like it is at Wodapalooza. Like it's a little bit more limited in my scenario.
Even there tends to be kind of a shorter day, doesn't there, for the semifinals? Isn't it like, well, wasn't it last year that it was like Thursday was kind of there was like one workout?
It was only teams on Thursday.
It was just teams. It was teams the first three, and then the individuals the last three.
Yeah, teams kind of fuck everything up because there's so many of them. it's like quadruple for one lane. All right. Anyway, last topic. So head into this one. O'Keefe's on 4. Dallon's on 5.5. I forgot to say, actually, Dallon got his half point for taking the piss out of O'Keefe in that first round, saying he just said what I said, but used bigger words. So he got a half point.
I sent Dallon my notes ahead of time. Just so everybody live understands this. So.
Dallon's on 5.5. Spin's on 6. We're heading into our last one. O'Keefe, you're going first. We're coming towards that time of year where we'll have our workout open announcements. We all know that Dalan's doing like the most important workout open announcement because he's on Savans and he's going up against Taylor Self, and that's going to be incredibly exciting. But for actual HQ, for the workout open announcements, my question is, you have, hopefully, who knows, Castro with his whiteboard, his shit handwriting. He's going to throw the marker at the camera. It'll be all great. Should we know who is taking on the open head-to-head workouts ahead of time, or should we find should we find out the workout and have the athletes brought out and have like the kind of double sense of mystery? O'Keefe, you're up first on this one. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Absolutely, we should know. I think that's a great marketing component. I mean, we get people excited about those matchups. People who are everyday CrossFitters talk about that, get excited to see who's going to win, predict. I don't see any value in being quiet about that. I mean, I don't think that creates any more eyeballs. I think we really just need to continue to do things that are going to get more people to look at this continuously. Those are some of the best media opportunities in our space on an annual basis for athletes specifically. And the more we talk about it leading up, I believe the better it is. I've run an open announcement with Matt and Tia in Miami, and the lead up is as important to the actual event. So 100% we should be talking about it and creating a lot of buzz in the community around it. We should be talking about it now. I would say announce them even earlier than they do.
Okay. Do you want me to announce them now? I can announce them now.
Well, I could too, but I'm not going to.
You got in a bit of trouble there you shouldn't have said that thing there. Okay. Dallin, have you ever done an open announcement, Dallin?
No.
Okay. So you're cutting your teeth on Savans this year, and then you do all of them next year. All right, Dallin, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
All right, yeah, we should absolutely announce them, but my argument's taking place in a world where CrossFit's going to capitalize on us announcing them and getting the story out. The first one that came to mind was 16.5 at the ranch with Ben, Rich, and Matt. I was 15 at the time, and I was stoked all week knowing that they were going to compete head-to-head in this workout that we didn't know. It's a perfect example. So as long as CrossFit's creating a story and pushing that out, whether it's running ads on YouTube, don't make everyone play friendly either. Like, we need a story. If I was CrossFit, I'm taking Jeff and Roman week 1. Like, you could pick Roman and anyone he's talked shit to all season, which is the entire field at this point, and put him head-to-head, and it's going to create a story. There's going to be some drama. And I think that's what CrossFit needs to do. We need to be pushing storylines. We need to create battles and rivalries, and and just make it fun, exciting, and as close to a real sport as we can, right?
Interesting way to finish. No, he didn't actually talk shit about anyone because I got all those translations wrong, apart from the fact that they were all right.
Fake.
Yeah, it's fake, completely accurate, but fake. Right,
You're a terrible person.
You've got 60 seconds. Off you go.
Yeah, so you want to tie this back to the first question about media. The best way to get external media talking and promoting the sport is to give us who is going to be competing, so that on Wednesday nights at 6:30 Central, John, Tyler, and I can then weigh in on who's going to do well, talk about it, analyze it, talk about just build up that hype. It doesn't necessarily be CrossFit, but give all the external groups time to talk about it. All of our different shows on YouTube. But the workout itself still needs to be secret. It needs to come out at the last minute. You need to have Castro there to provide the just excitement and intrigue of what he can do. If it's not Castro, it's never as exciting. Like you got to have Castro back. You got to have the workout, and then give us as much time. I think last year it was like 23 days before when we found out the first workout or the first group pairing. So give us as much time. We'll talk about it. We'll analyze it and talk about it nonstop.
Yeah. Oh shit, rebuttals. Sorry. Also I should have told you guys. This probably doesn't matter for you, O'Keefe. So if you win this, you get 30
You get a
seconds.
year free programming at HWPO. You guys are all excited.
If you win this, you get 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want to talk about. I probably should have told you that before now, Dallin. Your face, your soul just left your body when I said that. So you got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
He's gonna phone a friend, Jason.
Jason will talk. He usually feels
Yeah.
By the time you explain to him what he has to do, the 30 seconds will be over. By the time he understands it fully. Okay, so rebuttals. 20 seconds this time. O'Keefe, you're first. Yeah, off you go. You've got 20 seconds now.
Yeah, I mean, the developing athlete stories has got to be a priority for us. Athletes are the story in the sport. We need more head-to-head battles. Dallin put it perfectly, honestly. People's personalities coming out. Jason, Rome, and Dallin's like, we need more of that. We got to get this going and build those matchups.
Good stuff. Dallin, you got 20 seconds. Off you go.
I'm going to backspin on this. I guess I'll take back a little bit what I said about CrossFit doing it right. But I know all the media presence are chomping at the bit to create stories like that. You guys are going to take care of that week after week if we were to know those. And so I think we just got to get them out there and let people go to work and do what they're good at.
Good stuff. Spin. Off you go.
Yeah. To think about the matchups, I think the more drama, the better. Right. It doesn't need to be just the two friendly best Canadians or whatever. Like, I want to see two athletes who have kind of battled back and forth, whether it's Roman and Adler, or, create some intrigue and some drama by picking the pairings.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll have some final scores if I can remember how to do it. Yeah. I kind of just hope that they do tell us like way in advance, and I really hope that Dallin's right and that it's like people who either in reality or through perception don't like each other.
Who cares if Jeff and Roman are actually cool now? Like,
yeah,
there are people picking sides from that one post. But
once they don't walk out on the floor holding hands, that's all. They just need to keep up the facade until just keep it up until 3, 2, 1, go, and then they can hug each other afterwards. I don't give a shit, but pretend you hate each other. You want that like Karate Kid sweep the leg moment. You want
throw Tia and Laura together.
Yeah,
that was my second one.
Yeah, Tia and Laura would be good. Roman and Jeff. I don't know, Colton and pretty much anyone. It's just like, yeah, he'd happily.
I mean, honestly, one of the best matchups that could ever be created would be Dallin and Jason. I mean, quite frankly, we need more of your guys' personalities getting exposed. Honestly, you guys should have those opportunities. You're the future of the sport in a lot of ways. So, and it's not just because you're here. I mean, I adore both of you. You're both close friends. It's just you guys embody exactly what we're talking about here. You love to, talk smack with each other. You have fun with it. It's in the right place. That should be a matchup every year right now for me. I mean, that would be honestly awesome, made for TV.
But even if they pay enough attention to, like, if they keep their finger on the pulse of what's happening, and they see like, oh shit, that mic'd up thing is doing really well, maybe we should pick those two guys and build off the back of that. Or like Ricky, or let's probably if I'm CrossFit, I'm like, fuck, I'm not flying them all the way over. We'll pick the two guys that are here. But if they pay attention to what's going on, if they pay attention, like they should really, I don't know if they do or not, but they should really have someone whose job is essentially to do what Hiller does and just consume all of the content that's out there and say, hey, everyone's talking about this guy and this girl, and everyone's talking about this thing. And we need to get on that, like those kind of internal trends, as well as like, oh, let's make a stupid video of fucking we're CrossFitters and we whatever, like a trend that's like 6 weeks old or whatever when they start doing it. Let's actually keep our finger on the pulse of like who's talking about what concepts are working, what types of shows are working. Is there something that we could get involved with? Is there something that we should support? Like Spin, you essentially do like it's like a news review show every week. Savan does his games review show every week. They're similar, but could not be more different. John has his fucking topography, whatever the fuck thing he's doing of his mountains, crevices, cracks, whatever. Then Savan has his mic'd up, the behind the scenes. The Buttery Bros have their like longer form. Let's go spend a weekend with this person, get to know them, whatever. Dallin, you did one recently. Like someone should just be consuming all of that content and then report back to a group and saying, hey, this thing that they did is working really, really well. We should try and, use that somehow to drum up something. Or it would also help them be like, hey, people think Roman and Adler hate each other. We should pair those two guys up. Or, hey, Dallin and Jason are incredibly entertaining together. We should pair those guys up. But again,
Dallin showed up to the CrossFit Games check-in in a Jason Harper Clemson jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, do I need to say anything else? Like, that would be amazing. It's just
And
like,
to bring someone else in, Halpin says, treat it like a UFC event, athlete press conferences, more media on site, sell more tickets to local affiliates. Like, there's a couple of things. No disrespect to any member of the CrossFit community. I could not give a fuck who you are, what you've done, survived, seen, been through. I want Dave Castro announcing the workouts. But that's all. That's my first tick a box. Castro does it. I'm already happy. Second tick a box. I want that. I want that press conference. And I want the athletes to know for like a month that that's going to happen. So that you can have shit like that with Dallin, like, I'm going to wear out that jersey. Or like, oh, I need to write a list of like dickhead things to say to that person. Or I need to like, just give them time. Like Spin says, give us time to talk about it, but give them time to prep and to be funny and to show their best selves. But yeah.
Dallin, question for you on this. How would you like if the structure included a prize for the winner? Like if it was like 10 grand, 5 grand to say, I mean, you know, to compensate. I mean, would that add to it? I mean, you'd probably, because I know you well enough, want to do it anyway, but
Yeah.
would that be exciting for you?
I mean, money always talks, right? Like it makes it that much more fun. The stakes are that much higher. Instead of just like say me and Jason were doing, instead of like showing up and like we're both gonna go hard. Like just to beat the other person is plenty of motivation. But there's always like, if I can hold 10 grand up in front of Jason, it makes it that much better.
You should put your contracts on the table. So like 2 months.
And like even if it's like a prize that's like mutually agreed upon with CrossFit and the two athletes or however many athletes that are doing it, it's not even a cash prize. Like make it funny, make it like, I don't know, Jason's got to wear a Brute shirt for
like the trash talk they used to do with, was it Fikowski and
yeah.
Those guys.
Or didn't like Ford or some motor company sponsor, was it the announcements last year or something? Yeah, give them a truck for a year. Whoever wins each announcement gets a truck for a year. Everyone's going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
could be cool. Be fun.
All right, final scores. So Spin takes on 9. Dallin's on 8.5. That was pretty tight now, that last one. You all made, like, to be honest, you all made pretty valid points the whole way through. I think Spin kind of took that middle round with the need for fun.
Dallin, he's always going to side with the media guy, so don't stress.
I know. I was going to. We came in here losers. Sorry.
Yeah. I'd already decided. Actually, funnily enough, last week and this week, I was like, are the topics too agreeable? Like, do I need to have them at each other's throats a bit more? Like, do I need to have? So, like on the drive, while I was like panicking about being late, I was distracting myself by thinking of potential topics for next week. People are going to shit their pants when I pull the first topic up on screen next week. People are going to kill each other over this one.
I was fully waiting for you to email us last night or this morning. I'm changing to these topics.
Yeah,
might be otherwise engaged today.
Yeah. I talked about the residency rule was a topic on here 2 weeks ago because I'm so fucking on trend. I'm ahead of the times. We talked about the residency rule. We debated that, and I was like, "There's no point debating it again." And then Hiller getting kicked out for being on drugs only happened like an hour ago, so I couldn't really add that one in. But like, yeah, I think, you know, and it's probably one of the biggest challenges of the show is to try and think of something to debate that isn't just like real easy, like layup, like just easy thing to talk about that's just boring, but also being current. But listen, thank you. This is probably the longest one I've done in a while. Thank you, O'Keefe. Thanks very much. Spin, thank you very much. Dallin, thank you very much. Spin, I need to just give you your clock to finish us off.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't get my 30 seconds.
Well, look,
I was thinking about what I was going to say the whole time.
We'll give you 30 seconds after this.
I only need 5.
Let's go.
What you maybe should have done, Dallin, if you really wanted the 30 seconds, is just be better. Be a better competitor.
I'll try, but I'll try my hardest next time.
There's no next time. You lost.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I won't be invited back.
Series 7. All right, Spin. Have I said this 30? Yeah. Spin, you got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Off you go.
All right. Well, it's gonna be self-promotion. So go join the Spin tonight at 6:30 Central. I have Bill Leahy on to talk about his win this weekend at TFX, and then we'll obviously cover all of the breaking news, like our opinions on the whole Ellie situation. If you tuned into Savant earlier today, I jumped on and shared a little bit of that, but we'll go more into depth on that. May touch on the Hiller side, and then of course the new fan favorite blind rankings.
Good stuff. Thank you. Great show. If you haven't seen it, you should go and watch it. And if you are interested in all that stuff, Hiller, Ellie, all that stuff, go watch Savant's show. Is unbelievably good. Like spicy shit. It was really good and like measured, I thought, which is really good. Thanks, guys.
Can I ask you a quick question on that? Not to belabor this thing and make the broadcast longer, but a lot of people are riding Katrin in this. Is that still a topic? And not, I'm obviously going to be defensive because she's, someone I'm very connected with.
I think what we have to realize is it's not about the people, but unfortunately it's Katrin, Roman, and now Ellie are the three big ones that matter in the season. It's more about how CrossFit has written the rules, how they've enforced the rules, the appearance of inconsistency, and how it appears that they have gone against the rules that they have written themselves. So it has nothing to do against Katrin. It has nothing to do against Roman. It has nothing to do against what Ellie said. But when you look at this, what we know, and based on what the rules have been written, it appears that CrossFit has been inconsistent, and CrossFit's done nothing to help that.
Isn't there a residency exemption though? Katrin's been a resident in the United States for like 6 or 7 years.
That's the thing. So permanent residency does not give you the ability to compete where you're living. You still have to compete where you're a citizen. And so that's where kind of Katrin gets caught up in how the rules are written. I don't think anybody would complain. And
not necessarily like Katrin's case. If you just look at
Katrin's case, right? Like, so I mean, yes, Katrin's lived here forever, but the way that it's written is you have to be in your country of where you want to compete for 3 years without moving, right? But she competed. She went to Iceland for 21. She was on Annie's team in 22 as part of the team. So the question is, was it sustained for those last 3 years beginning on February 1st? For Roman, last year, everything was great. Everybody agrees. Like, yes, he probably should not have been leaving the United States. This year, everybody would have agreed the exact same thing, but he goes to South Korea in December for a seminar. So now you're saying he can still travel. So like the rules that are written, I think they're all not the way they should be. It's where you should live is my opinion on it. Like if you're living there during the start of the Open, go do your workouts in an affiliate in that region and you're good, right? We've overcomplicated it and made it too difficult. And now CrossFit's having a hard time following the standards that they set for themselves.
So out of character.
It is unbelievable. You wouldn't have expected it.
Yeah. Is she aware that she's being talked about, Matt? Like, is this a topic of conversation?
No, I don't know. Probably uniquely no. Honestly, she's got some other. She's home right now, so not home. She's home in Iceland right now. Because something came up, so she had to run back with her family. But I don't know. I haven't talked to her.
She just restarted her residency all over again. She should, like, once you step outside the country.
Yeah.
Someone should have told her.
Home for a vacation. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. But sure, look, it gives us something to fucking talk about. So I'm not complaining. Dallin, do you want your 5 seconds, Dallin? Have you got something good for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Translators shouldn't be allowed to bring food onto the field of play.
Can I give Dallin 3 points for that?
That's all I got to do.
Wow. This is like a drop. That was good, man. That would have been a fucking excellent use of 30 seconds. Okay. Well, you got to say it anyway. So I win both ways. Spin, you're going to be with us on the 14th of February. So it'll be a very romantic evening. Myself, yourself, and John Young so far. Next week. Next week is actually spicy because next week we've got Justin Kotler, our curmudgeonly old man who likes to argue. Josh Bridges, not shy of sharing his opinion on stuff. And Brian Friend, also not shy on sharing his opinion on
Good
stuff,
group.
whether
Be
he
a good
named him or not. So we got Brian Friend, Josh Bridges, and Justin Kotler next week, same time. The week after that, it'll be one of those three, plus Spin, plus John Young. And then after that, we have the fucking final. So it's Hiller is waiting. He's been waiting like 9 weeks. He's going to be chomping at the bit. He's got so much TRT run through his veins. He's just like, come on, let me at it. And Seth from Jump Ship. The two of those guys are waiting for the victor there. Thank you everybody for watching, commenting, etc. Subscribe to the channel. You're supposed to do that, apparently. Makes a big difference. Dallin, thank you. Good luck with your season. O'Keefe, thank you. Spin, thank you. See you next week. All the best. Everybody watching, thank you very much.